Yep. Another thing that I'm probably not going to revisit for any real conceivable reason was Tekken Bloodline.
It's true.
It was one season. I think they planned on doing more than one, and it is loosely based on the story for Tekken 3. I have not played a single Tekken game. I am exclusively familiar with it through cultural osmosis and memes. And I didn't hate this show, but it was kind of a nothing burger. It follows a dude. Fuck it. I'm gonna be racist as fuck. I can't say any of these names. I'm sorry. It follows.
It was Jin.
Yeah, it was Jin. You follow Jin, and he's a dude. He's a boy, but his mom is cool and pacifist, but can kick your ass. And she teaches him stuff, and then she dies because a demon, who's called an ogre, which, if you know the lore, which I looked up, is actually a fucking alien, but they don't explain any of that. This ogre, who's a big, mad, punchy guy, kills her because she sucks, I guess. I don't fucking know. And he gets mad about it. He wants revenge, so he finds his grandfather, which is his dad's dad, who is evil. Also turns out his dad was probably evil too. His dad was the protagonist of Tekken 2. I got that part. And then he trains for an episode and then goes, yeah, fine too. And then goes to a tournament and then fights. And then they summon Ogre and they fight. And then he turns evil because his bloodline is bad. And then the show ends.
I'm so glad you were able to summarize the story.
I watched it in one sitting. And
wow.
It is 6 episodes, and each one's like 22 minutes. So if you trim the intros, which to be fair, the credit intro is actually pretty good, and you cut watching any of the end credits, it's just over a movie length. So why wasn't it a fucking movie? That's kind of dumb. I think anime fans just have a problem, and they have to watch everything in a TV format. Don't quote me, but I feel like there's something there to that.
And that's why Akira made such a big wave, because it was a movie that anime fans actually watched.
True. Everything about this was perfectly serviceable. I don't like the animation style.
I didn't either.
But I knew it was 3D walking into it, and some of it worked okay. The fight sequences were really heavily CGI'd. Not CGI'd, oh my gosh. Slow motioned to death, which I think works in an anime format when it's 2D. When you have oh my gosh, they're going to punch each other in the head at the same time. That's a Dragon Ball reference. In 2D, when you have all the effects going on, that I think actually works pretty cool for pacing. When it's 3D, I don't know. There's something about it that feels really weightless, even though they have really big muscles and they have like kinetic impact, like there's power signatures like it's a comic book, which is useful, except for the fact that they seemingly can kind of all do the same stuff. Like Jin's grandfather has electricity and fire and a different color of electricity, and like there's
purple electricity.
There's very little cohesion on that front, so it feels like them putting that in to spice up the 3D animation actually detracted from it. It made it noisier and then mean less. So I really did not like that. That got on my nerves as it was going on, especially as we get introduced to more characters during the fighting tournament, and most of them have very similar skill sets and then similar power signatures. So why bother? The characterizations were pretty flat. Apparently, according to the internet, for the people who like the game, it's a better exploration of at least Jin, but there's a bunch of characters that were either completely removed, and then the ones we do have were flattened down to like a single characteristic for the sake of runtime, which I guess makes sense. But you fight a guy in a jaguar mask whose exposition dump backstory is like 30 seconds, and then you give him mercy and he runs off, and it's like, wait, what? It's the whole thing's like that. Turns out that Jin's grandfather summoned the ogre for reasons because he's mad or whatever, and that's why he's manipulating him to get the ogre. He's like, no, you can kill him. And it's like, I want to put him in a box, actually. I wasn't cringing. I wasn't cringing at every scene.
That's fair.
That was my like bare minimum of I will finish this. Was like I'm not super bored. I'm not loving it. there's a couple of sequences that were okay. The training montage was decent. It's just because it's the training montage and it hits that switch in my brain that's like, and epic music and multiple training scenes.
Some of the final fights are pretty good too.
Yeah. Most of the designs are basically just pulled from the game.
Yep.
I think another thing with the animation that was very frustrating was sometimes it's shot like it's a 3D animated show, and then sometimes they're doing the thing that I really hate where they shoot the 3D models like it's a 2D show, and they bounce back and forth between them. They'll go from really like static shots of people going in and out of frame and like whatever to then rotating the camera around the entire fucking arena, and I really hate that. It really draws attention to the fact that it is 3D animated, but still trying to have like cell shading or whatever, and that was icky.
I was bored. I was heavily, painfully bored. It was very boring to watch. I didn't care about the story. I appreciate that they tried to put a story instead of just, hey, watch these dudes fight for 6 episodes. That's fine, but it's the classic stereotypical revenge story, but don't have revenge because that makes you the bad guy that you're trying to kill or whatever. It was 2 episodes of training and 4 episodes of tournament. I did not care about Jin at all as a character. The art style really turned me off. I have said before I don't understand Spencer's scientific terms about 2D and 3D and whatever, but I saw this, it was like, ew, gross. I don't like this. And so I sorted magic cards while playing this in the background, and I don't feel like I really missed much. The last 2-ish episodes when it was the final fight, I was like, oh, it's the final fight, this is gonna look cool because this is where all the money went. And that was it. I did not enjoy this.
It didn't spur you on to go play a Tekken game?
Oh, that's what I was going to talk about. A long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, I played some Tekken 2 on the PS1.
Damn, you're old. So as a poor sap who's seen the live-action Tekken film, you brought it up.
Fuck!
Which one's worse?
I was happy forgetting that had happened.
Okay, so the movie's worse.
Yeah, the movie's worse because it's shorter runtime than this TV show. Easy.
Yeah.
I don't understand why Tekken keeps trying. Like, let it go, bro. Mortal Kombat 1.
There's too many fighting games. I'll die on this hill. Most of them play very, very similarly.
Oh, I tried Soul Calibur a couple of years ago. Because Soul Calibur 6, I think, because it has The Witcher in it, and that seemed kind of cool. But it's like way too complicated.
Same thing with Killer Instinct. They had a few, I think, Halo skins when Halo 5 came out, and I was like, oh, this is worth trying. Holy complicated. The game was free, which is weird. Yeah, I guess it's just monetized to hell. But that gave me a headache.
I put a couple hours into it and wasn't even halfway through the tutorial. I was like, fuck this. Yeah. Like, I am not smart enough to play this game.
Nope, I am barely smart enough to play Injustice.
Yeah.
And we have Mortal Kombat, Injustice, Street Fighter's okay.
Working your way down.
And then like everything else. It's just too fucking complicated, too dog shit.
Yeah.
Fighting game fans are weird.
And kooky.
They are definitely kooky. And obviously Smash doesn't exist on that spectrum because it tries not to, but but you know, Smash is in there somewhere. They have an equal amount of pedophiles in their fan base as all the other games, which is interesting.